welcome to Chill Team. We are back with a battle report for you. This week we have my Death Guard taking on Barrett's Blood Angels, which is an army he's a lot more familiar with than the Thousand Suns that you heard him use last week. We've got a couple of little things just to talk about really quick before we get into it. We had a few comments and tweets on last week's episode regarding one specific rule that we got wrong, so I wanted to point that out, and that is that 6s and 1s always hit and fail. So 6s always hit, 1s always fail on hits and wounds, which is something that we actually already knew, so I don't know why we skipped over it and kind of had a weird little conversation about it on the last episode, but we did, and we ended up kind of screwing Toby out of a shot. Luckily, I don't think it changed too much of the game, but it's still there, and it's still something that I wanted to point out and clarify, and I really wanted to thank the people that did point it out, because I kind of love having those conversations with the listeners. If they think that we've maybe done a rule wrong, and you leave a comment on it and we can have a conversation about it. There was a few things that people pointed out that we hadn't actually done wrong, but it was cool to have a conversation about it, because I would explain, no, like, this is why we done it right, and maybe the other person would understand, maybe they wouldn't, but I'm kind of fascinated by those kind of conversations at the moment, like in Facebook groups and things like that, about the rules of this game, because some of them are so open to interpretation that obviously until the FAQ came out, that it's actually kind of fascinating to see different people's ways of playing this game. So yeah, if you hear anything that you think might be wrong, just leave a comment and we'll have a conversation about it, and let's see if we can both better understand the situation that happened and how it should have gone down, and if we were correct or not. And on the note of rules, it's worth pointing out that this game was actually recorded before the FAQ dropped, so I wanted to make you aware of that. But anyway, getting into the battle itself, as I mentioned, we have Death Guard versus Blood Angels. They are facing off on a Sector Imperialis kill zone. We rolled for the mission and we got Recover Intelligence, which is a match play mission. Basically, the victory conditions of this are that there's 5 objectives. Each player scores victory points for each objective marker that their kill team controls at the end of each battle round. So you keep a score from battle round to battle round, and it accumulates over the entire game. Each player scores 1 victory point for controlling each of the objective markers closest to their deployment zone, 3 victory points if they control the objective marker in the center of the battlefield, and 2 victory points for each other objective marker they control. The player with the most victory points is the winner. If there's a tie, whichever of these players had the lower force is the winner. If there's still a tie, the tied players draws and any other players lose. So there is a potential for this to end up just being a tie, as both the Death Guard and the Blood Angels had 100 points, giving them equal force. So we really need a winner out of this, because no one's going to be happy with a tie. The deployment zones themselves are these tiny little 12-inch triangles in the center of the horizontal sides of the board. So it's a really compact little deployment zone. Terrain-wise, we had 2 3-tier ruins in opposite corners of this kill zone, and then in the middle we had just one of not the huge piece that you get in the starter set, but the other piece that you get in the starter set that has 2 levels, that's in the middle. In fact, the center objective is just touching the side of it, and then all around the rest of the board is pretty much all scatter terrain. We have the Orc vehicles, we have the rest of the starter terrain that is just kind of 1 level ruins, we have barriers, we have all that kind of stuff absolutely cluttering this board. We didn't want to do too many levels, as it gets a bit samey. We kind of do boards all the time that have loads of different levels, so we thought we'd switch it up a little bit for this one. And with that, let's get started. So my list then, I've got the Death Guard, and I'm going with a little bit of a different list, tiny bit different to what you're normally used to, tiny bit. There's like a really easy list with Death Guard. Yeah. That I've kind of used a variation of before, and it's just always good. Yeah, it's like a really good, when I take like the flail and then 2 guys with big guns and stuff. So that's like kind of a variation on a list that is very good. This one is a little bit different. So I'm going with either Plague Champion, who's my leader. He just has a bolt gun. And he has a Plague Sword as well, rather than a knife, which lets him reroll. So Plague weapons normally reroll 1s to wound, and a Plague Sword lets you reroll all fouled wounds, which is nice.
I remember that one.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Nasty.
I then have a Plague Marine Fighter, who's a combat specialist with the Flail of Corruption, your favourite.
Yep.
I then have a Plague Marine Gunner with a Blight Launcher. Yep. He's my heavy specialist. It's an assault weapon. It's not a heavy weapon, but the heavy specialist can advance without the penalty. Yeah. That's one of the things. And then I have a Plague Spewer, a Plague Marine Gunner with a Plague Spewer. Yep. He's my demolitions specialist. So he's going to be getting those +1 to wound on all your obscured boys. And I have a Plague Marine Fighter with a Mace of Contagion and a Bubotic Axe.
It's the new.
That's a new one for me. Yeah, I haven't used that before. But for the sake of doing this podcast, I wanted to potentially have an opportunity to use 2 different weapons in one melee attack. Yeah. Just to see if we can experiment with how that helps with injury rolls and things like that. So, which they are. That's 2 separate weapons, so it's not the kind of what we now know is potentially misunderstood rule about people with 2 of the same weapon. Yeah. That's all a bit up in the air, but this is 2 separate weapons. And then I have 3 Poxwalkers who do not have names. None of the stuff has names, but they are numbered 1, 2, and 3.
I can see one guy with a little name painted on him.
Oh, one guy's got a name from when we were doing it at first, but
save that for the campaign.
We'll save that for the campaign. Don't want to get people confused. So yeah, that's my list. It's 100 points, bang on. And that is with a leader, a combat specialist, a heavy specialist, and a demolitions specialist. So what have you got with the Blood Angels?
So I've got my Intercessor Sergeant, my leader, with chainsword and bolt rifle.
Yep.
Standard. I've then got my comms specialist, which is just a standard intercessor with bolt rifle. I've got a demolitions specialist. He's an intercessor gunner, again just standard bolt rifle. Then got a Reaver sergeant with bolt carbine, combat knife, and he's my combat specialist. And for the non-specialist, I've then just got 3 scouts, all with sniper and camo cloak, which I haven't used them for this before, so that'll be quite interesting. Nice to actually have more than 5 models on the board.
Yeah, so normally you've got a pretty streamlined list.
Yeah, so...
And the snipers aren't something that I've seen in a lot of kill team stuff, but the rules you were reading out for them earlier seem pretty sick.
Yeah, so the sniper rifles get ignoring the negative to hit for long range, so that's obviously a bonus.
That's massive. Why is more people not using snipers? That's crazy.
Exactly. And then the camo cloaks are even better, so... If you're obscured and you've got a camo cloak, you then get an additional -1 to hit. So
that's crazy. They feel like they're crazy good and no one uses them.
Yeah. So they're pretty cheap. 12 points with the cloak and the sniper, so it's not bad.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So is that your whole list?
Yeah, that's my whole list.
And what's that, 100 points bang on?
Yeah, bang on 100 points. Couldn't fit the grapple launcher on the Reaver today.
Yeah, that's the first time you're using that without one of those, right?
Yeah, but... With the map we're playing, just worked out all right.
Yes, and I would have ran through it on the intro already, but we haven't really got that many levels. Like we normally play with quite a few kind of mid-tier and top-tier levels, but on this we just have 1 in the centre that is a higher level, and then 2 in each of kind of diagonal corners from each other, like ruins with 3 tiers, and that's it. Everything else on the board is like just ground level. Yeah. Kind of scatter terrain, which isn't something that we normally do, so it should be quite fun.
A lot more to hide behind.
Yeah, definitely. But a lot more to see through.
Yeah.
Rather than be blocked. So the deployment for this game is like a really tight little triangle, kind of horizontally each side of the map. I'm pretty lucky in that my side has a ruin, like a ground level ruin, and the big like orc crane thing. So I've got quite a lot of terrain in my deployment zone. Yeah. So I've kind of centered at the tip of the triangle one of my Poxwalkers, and behind him I have my 2 Plague Marine gunners. Then at the bottom left corner of the triangle deployment zone, I have another Poxwalker, and then completely down the right-hand side of the triangle, I basically lined up behind a ruin my leader, a Poxwalker, and my two kind of combat guys, my two Plague Marine fighters. So that, and then
looks deadly behind that wall.
Yeah. And then my scout phase thing that I chose was to move 20% of my models, which for me is 1. So I basically just shunted forward my fighter with the flail. He's moved towards the end of the ruins that they're all tucked behind, and he's basically next to one of the objectives now.
Sneaky.
Which is nice.
Nice little first turn advantage.
Yeah.
Well, before turn.
But I'm assuming, and I'll find out when we start the game, that this big ruin that I'm tucked behind is probably trapped. So we'll see.
Possibly.
We'll see how that goes. So what about you with your deployment?
So most people are pretty bunched together. I say mine's the complete opposite of yours. I'm very out in the open. All I've really got to hide behind was one of the smaller little vehicles that come in the Orc set.
Yeah.
So I've huddled around that. My leader is at the back of that. I've got a scout and my comms specialist intercessor are sort of huddled around that vehicle. And then right on the left side edge of my deployment zone, I've got the two of the other sniper scouts covered behind a big ruins in the middle. So I don't think they're actually in sight. Maybe see through one of the windows.
I think the edge on that ruin actually only has a window like quite high up. So unless you're high up, you're not going to be able to see anything.
Yeah, that's true. And then, we've got the Reaver, so the combat specialist. He's just right at the back. And then right on the far right of my deployment zone, kind of behind, yet again, another little Orc vehicle, is the intercessor demolition specialist.
Yeah.
But overall, pretty bunched up.
Yeah, you kind of have to be bunched up in this deployment, this kind of deployment map.
Yeah.
Now we'll do initiative, I suppose.
Yep.
That's a 9 for me.
And a 3 for me.
Nice. So I'm going to have the objective, the initiative. I wish I had the objective. Which means it's now the movement phase.
I suppose now's a good time to tell you you've actually set off 2 of the traps.
So it says, unless they remain stationary.
All right, okay.
So
if they start there, it's fine. If they
start there, it's fine. But if they move, it sets it off.
Right, okay.
Which doesn't make much difference to me anyway. Because I guess basically I would have gone, I'll move this guy. And you would have gone, well, that's trapped. And then I'd know that it's trapped. So I'd decide whether to move the rest of the guys or not.
Yeah.
But it's trapped regardless. So I'm going to have to move them at some point.
Sorry, my bad. It's actually just one of the traps at the moment.
Okay.
Almost another one.
Okay.
So it's this middle
big boy.
Big wall there. That is a trap.
Okay, so so if I don't move from it, that person doesn't set it off.
Right, okay. So pretty much keep everyone still.
Either keep everyone still and get no objectives. I suppose he could just stay there and hold that.
Yeah.
No, they are all going to be moving. So as I move them, then you do the test.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess normally we'd cut away for the movement phase, but what I'll do is we'll still cut away and then we'll just explain what happened. Okay, so in movement, I, surprise, set off one of the traps that Barrett planted that was basically in my deployment zone. So I had like 5 guys around it.
Yeah.
They all wanted to move barring one. So a wild Toby has appeared. So if you hear a noise in the background, that'll be him, an unmiked noise in the background. So I set off all of Barrett's traps in my movement phase. So starting with the big one in the middle, it was like there was a big kind of ground level ruin in my deployment zone that I had like
all your guys
that I had like deployed 5 guys on. 4 of them moved, which set it off 4 times. So I had basically my leader is tucked in the corner of that ruin. He stayed still. And then next to him was a Poxwalker that I moved directly out towards objective 2. Next to him was my Plague Marine fighter with a flail, who I had moved in my scouting phase, but I'd only moved him up to the corner of this same ruin.
Yeah.
So even though he'd moved away from it, he'd actually ended up next to it still and triggered the trap when he then moved, and I'll get to that in a second. And then next to him, right towards the back, my kind of back edge of the board, was my other Plague Marine fighter who had moved round the opposite way to everyone else and kind of started to move up the centre of the board now. So he hasn't ended within an inch of the trap, but he went past it. Luckily, not a single one was rolled
Somehow.
So, none of them suffered a mortal wound from the trap. The Plague Marine fighter with a flail, who had initially moved in my scouting phase, when he moved away, he passed another trap, which he hasn't landed between, but he passed through it, which was another small piece of ruin. And luckily, not a one was rolled for that either.
Yeah.
And then lastly, my last guy, oh no, it wasn't my last guy actually, but the third trap.
Yeah.
One of my poxwalkers who was down the left-hand side of my kind of triangle deployment zone moved over into this ruin down in the left corner of the board so that you can get right in the corner of the ruin and get next to one of the objectives. And what a shocker, that ruin was a trap. But the poxwalker survived that as well. And he's going to be hiding out there for the rest of the game.
Should have known I'd pick traps. I picked it every time.
You've picked it every time, but you've been undone every time.
I have.
So I wanted to pick something. I wanted to go aggressive, and you said you almost countered what I picked.
I had it on the 6, and then as we were flipping, I panicked and changed it back to traps.
Classic. So that was my fault is that I've got a few combat guys, so I wanted to get out as quick as I can. You've kind of fucked me with the traps though.
Yeah.
Because of the traps, I've now moved two of my guys different to how I would have liked to have moved them after I knew that the traps were there. Aside from that, I had kind of at the tip of the triangle deployment zone, I had two of my gunners behind the poxwalker, and the poxwalker advanced up to get that center objective, and the two gunners followed him. One of them is kind of stranded out in the middle of nowhere. He's kind of obscured from most of your guys.
Yeah.
But a few of your guys have a good old look on him.
Yeah, I've got some good positioning going on over him.
Yeah, that was kind of a risk from me, but I have the initiative. So that's where I'm thought that the risk might be worth it.
Yeah.
So that was my movement. Everyone moved other than my leader, who stayed in the ruin that is a booby trap. He's got a good little bit of line of sight on a few of your guys, and I like to keep the leader kind of towards the back anyway. I like to take like a bare bones leader, leave him at the back, get that extra command point. Yeah, I've got like a few guys. My combat guys need to move further up the field because at the moment, my combat guys are behind my gunners. Yeah. And I don't like that. That's not what I want to happen. And you didn't move as far forward as I thought you were going to. So it's not really how I wanted it to look. But so that's my movement. I'm just happy at the moment that the traps didn't get me. And now I know where all of them are.
True.
And I'm moving away from them.
Yeah.
I'm either staying in them, trapped, probably, or I'm moving away from them. So so that's where I'm at with my movement. What about with the Blood Angels?
Not a huge movement. All three snipers and my comm specialists stayed put. They've just readied up where they were in the deployment zone. They've all got very good line of sight to a few people there. My Reaver, he's advanced up to the left building and he's grabbed the objective.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, sneaky.
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 A sneaky little leader in the middle tier of the ruin there.
Oh, that's not the leader. The leader is...
Oh, I thought that's who was grabbing the objective.
Both blonde. I'll see how you could get confused.
Oh, okay.
both blonde and both red. And then my leader actually moved just forward directly behind the big middle ruins.
Yep.
And then last guy, my demolitions intercessor, has moved round to the right-hand side and nabbed the other objective. I think you can see one guy's hat.
Hat? Plague Marines don't wear hats.
He looks like a hat. A spiky hat.
They are battle helmets.
Okay.
And you're going to feel that spike at some point in this game.
Oh, I hope not.
We can't all have bleach blonde hair, like going around like fucking Baywatch on the kill zone. Okay, so that was movement then. Yeah. There was no charges. There was only like advance and some readies, and that was about it.
Too crazy.
So we're going with the shooting phase.
Yep.
I have the initiative.
Yep.
I've one readied guy,
Okay.
so we can do him first. But before we do that,
Yeah.
I'm going to be saucy.
Oh.
Um,
you know how I hate that.
I'm going to play Cloud of Flies
Oh yeah.
on. Well, actually, I'm not. I'm going to measure something first,
Okay.
and then I'm potentially going to play Cloud of Flies.
Sounds nasty.
The source is measurement dependent. The source will commence. I'm going to play Cloud of Flies on my guy with a flail.
Okay.
It means you can only target him if he's the closest enemy unit
Okay.
that is visible.
Yep.
Which, by my calculations, means your snipers can no longer shoot him because he's closer.
Okay.
So that I've basically got a poxwalker. The poxwalker that I ran up the middle of the board is a closer visible enemy unit to most of your guys
Yeah.
than my fighter over the other side of the board. Last few times I've played, everyone targets the flail
Because he's nasty.
because he's horrible. So I'm going to protect him.
Nasty, nasty man.
I'm going to protect him with a Cloud of Flies, and that's 2 command points. So I haven't got any command points.
Good news for me.
Yeah, that's good news for you. For this turn. So I'm gonna do that first, and then I'm gonna shoot with my leader.
Okay.
The only thing I can see is this guy's gun
Okay.
sticking out through this window,
Yeah.
just sticking out the side here. So I'm gonna shoot him. He's obviously obscured.
Yeah.
I'm also at long range.
Ooh.
It's only a bolt gun, so
Okay.
it's nothing crazy. It's gonna be one shot.
Yep.
It'll be a 5 because he can barely see him. Gets a 2, so it's not a hit. And that is my only readied boy.
I have 4 readied models.
Here we go.
So I think we need to get rid of this Poxwalker first, since you've buggered up my plans for the other one. So 1 sec. One of the readied snipers going at the Poxwalker.
Yep.
So just 1 shot on a 3.
That's a
6.
6.
3.
Shame that wasn't the wound.
Yeah, not obscured, so just a 3 to wound.
Oh, it was
It's
the
a
wound.
6 to wound, so that is a mortal wound
as well as.
wound.
So, I mean, the mortal wound is the mortal wound.
Yeah,
They don't get
so-
a save anyway.
disgusting, resilient.
So, in this case, then, I only take the mortal wound, right? I only take 1. I don't take both.
Yeah,
So, I only
so you've
roll
only got 1 wound.
one
so,
disgusting resilient.
yeah,
Okay, so I've got. They don't have a save,
yeah.
but it's a mortal wound regardless.
Yep.
So, I'm going to roll a disgustingly resilient against that.
Okay.
That's a 6.
Of course, he does it.
Disgusting.
Disgusting. So you weren't dropped to 0 wounds, were you? So
No.
now the shot goes through.
No,
Cats.
I was dropped to 0 wounds, wasn't I?
But you
I
saved
took the
it with-
wound.
you saved it with the.
But that was with a disgustingly resilient. That wasn't with a save. It's because disgustingly resilient isn't a save. It's something you do when you take damage, right?
Okay.
I think that's how it works. That sounds good to me,
Yeah. that's
obviously.
fine. Yeah.
But I mean, that
No, yeah,
sounds like
that's-
how it should work to me. So
Yeah,
just to
that's-
clarify, if anyone wants to have a go at us in the comments. Barrett shot my Poxwalker with a sniper. He hit on a 6 and he wounded on a 6. So a 6 to wound with a sniper gets you a mortal wound on top of the existing wound,
Yeah.
which means 2 wounds went through. Obviously, only 1 wound takes a Poxwalker down to 0.
Yep.
We do the mortal wound first. Doesn't get a save. Takes the wound, is down to 0. But I use disgustingly resilient on that one and pass it.
Yeah.
So the second wound from that attack still doesn't go through. So that's where we're at with that rule.
Yeah.
Not something that's come up before, so feel free to correct us in the comments or say, yes, that's perfect. You got it dead on.
Cool.
Yeah,
That
okay,
was
so
First ready model.
he's okay. You have
I guess I'll.
3 more readied.
Yep. My comms specialist. I'm going to use him.
Going to shoot with him or use his
I'm
ability?
going to shoot with him. Save his ability.
Okay.
Shoot with him. Just straight down the middle at your. Yeah.
The plague spewer
Plague
guy?
spewer guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So no obscurity.
Nope.
Within half range. So be rapid fire. So that's 2 shots on 3s. So 5 and a 1. So 1 shot goes through. It's going to be a 5 to wound.
Yeah,
It's a 5.
that's a 5. So he
minus
wounds.
-1.
-1 gives me a 4-up save. I get a 3. I don't have any command points, so that'll be disgustingly resilient. That's a 1.
Right. Let's see if we can take him out. The 2, that's just a flesh
That's a 2,
wound.
so that is a flesh wound. So you got 2 more snipers left, is it?
Yeah, right. 6. So my back sniper is going to shoot at the Poxwalker.
Okay.
Again, not obscured because only a bit of his base is actually covered. Whole
Yeah.
body's out. So 1 shot on a 3. That's a 1.
That is a 1.
Right. And then the last sniper, he will shoot straight at the middle. He'll plague Spitter with the flesh wound.
Plague Spewer.
Plague
please.
Spewer, sorry. I mean, spitting and spewing, similar things.
Not to us. It's very different things for Death Guard.
I'm going to use the comm specialist ability for this, so the +1 to
It's +1 to hit.
1 to hit.
Who is shooting? The other sniper?
The last sniper, yeah.
Okay.
So hitting on a 2. So 3. And then wounding you on a 5.
That's a
a
1. Where are all them 1s when you were rolling for my traps? Eh?
I'm going to use a command point for that.
That's a
Still
1
a 1
again. That is a 1 again. All them 1s
All the ones.
are not a trap to set off.
Right, so that's it for my readied models.
Okay. So it's back to me 'cause it's my initiative.
Yep.
I'm going to go with my Plague Spewer.
Yep.
Straight back down the middle to, is this your comms
My
specialist?
comms, yeah.
He auto hits.
Yep.
D6.
Oh,
That'll be 5. 5 auto hits.
disgusting.
He's not obscured.
Nope.
So it's just going to be straight up 3s to wound because it's strength 5,
Toughness 4.
toughness 4.
Yep.
Rerolling 1s because it's a plague weapon.
Yeah.
No 1s. A 3, a 4, a 5, and a 6.
Lovely.
So that's 4 wounds at -1.
That's 4 3-up saves.
4 ups, would it not be?
4 up, sorry, yeah.
Because it's -1.
He's only
Ooh,
gone
that's-
and made 3.
That's not bad. He's taken, he's made 3 of them.
2 6s, a 4 and a 3. So that drops him to just 1 damage.
Just the 1
So
damage.
it drops into 1 wound.
Okay, nice. Fucks my plans up a little bit. I'm not
Yeah.
going to lie, James.
Good.
I'll tell the truth. That has fucked my plans completely for the rest of this turn. If you want to go with one of your guys that moved, if they can see
I will
anyone.
activate my leader, who's going to shoot your Poxwalker. Just the tip of his gun.
Yeah, he's
Popping out.
kind of on a little corner of a ruin with his sneaky little gun
Sneaking
poking
guns.
outside. He's
Just the tip.
just the tip of the gun, and it's going for that centre Poxwalker again.
Yeah. So you are obscured.
Yeah,
I mean, rapid fire. So 2 dice hit on 4s. A 1 and a 4. 1 goes through. It'll be 3s to wound.
Mhm.
Strength 4, toughness 3. So 1 again.
that is a 1 to wound. Bloody love a 1
Love
at the
ones.
moment, isn't it?
Where's my traps? Where are my traps at?
So it's back to me.
Yep.
I have my heavy specialist with the blight launcher.
Yep.
I wanted to take out one of your snipers,
Mm.
but I'm going to change my decision, try and get that last wound off of your comms guy.
Okay.
So it's an assault 2 weapon.
Yep.
He's a heavy specialist, so he doesn't suffer the movement from advancing.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's on freeze because he's not obscured. That is a 2 and a 5.
Lovely.
So 1 hits. It's strength 6,
Okay.
toughness 4. So
Yep.
it's on freeze. That's a 1, but it is re-rolling once because
Oh,
it's
yeah,
a plague
plague.
weapon. That's a 1 again. Re-rolled a 1 for a 1.
All
Good
the
job.
ones.
Good job it wasn't a plasma. Where's my traps? So he come up short.
Okay.
You got any other guys?
Yeah, got 2 more. My demolitions intercessor can see your not hat, helmet spikes.
Call it a hat again, bro. I'll flip this table. You can see his spiked battle
I can see
helmet.
Spiked battle helmet. Coming off his
Yep.
gross head.
He's. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
He's a gross head.
He's obscured.
He is very obscured, but you can shoot at him
but
nonetheless.
We're within half range, so it's rapid fire on 2s. Sorry, not on 2s, on 4s.
I was going to
2
say.
shots. It's a 6 and a 5.
There's a 6 and a 5. Nice.
Because it's demolitions, it's +1 to wound for obscured.
That is correct.
So I'll be wounding on force.
That's 2 6s.
Double 6s, both at -1.
Okay, so that's 2 4-ups for me.
Ah.
That is a 5 and a 6.
Of course it is. Typical. Typical.
Nice. Nice. It didn't even need to be disgustingly resilient there. Just saved it.
Disgusting enough.
I don't have any more people to shoot.
Okay, I got one more. Let's check if he's actually in range. 2 seconds.
Who have you got?
I've got my Reaver.
Is that the guy in the building?
Yeah, the Reaver Sergeant. So
Blondie.
He's got a bolt carbine, 24-inch range.
Fucking Lost Boys over in the corner. Is it 12 inches, did you say?
No, it's 24 inches bolt carbine. Just have to measure this to make sure.
Make sure he's the closest. Yeah. Can you even see the Poxwalker? So he will be the closest visible unit because he's the only visible
Mr.
unit.
Flail. So,
yep.
You were within half range, which is fine, but you are obscured.
Yep.
It's assault 2. I advanced, so I'll be hitting on 5s. Obscured, so 6s. No, that is 5.
Sorry, he advanced.
Sorry, he advanced.
So he's got an assault
4s.
weapon, has he?
Yeah, assault weapon.
So it's -1 for that.
Yeah,
and he's
so
obscured.
4s obscured, so 5s.
Yeah.
So 2 shots on 5s. 6 and a 1. That'll be a 5 to wound.
Yep.
It's just a 1.
That's a 1.
That's all my shooting.
Where the trap's at.
Yeah.
So that's all the shooting. We don't have a fight phase. But just to quickly recap the shooting, for me, didn't really go to plan. I suppose the one thankful thing I have is that I put 2 guys, I've got 3 guys in the middle. I knew they'd all be subject to some kind of fire.
Yeah.
I wrongfully assumed that you were going to move quite a lot, so I didn't think you'd have a lot of readied models.
Yeah.
And it turned out that the ones that I moved into aim of, you just readied them all.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was going to happen. So that put me in a bit of a weird position. So you got to shoot me before I got to shoot you, even though I had the initiative. But luckily, I survived with flesh wound on the Poxwalker in the centre, a flesh wound on my Plague Spewer, and nothing on my heavy specialist with the Blight Launcher. And on top of that, managed to take a wound off of your comms guy with the Plague Spewer.
Yes.
Would have liked to have done a little bit more damage with a Blight Launcher, but...
And I would have liked to set off a few traps, but...
I'm still, to be honest, I could lose this and I'd still just be happy I didn't get done by a trap.
Yeah, there's still time.
Because I'm not going anywhere near them. I'm done. No one's moving out of these traps. I'm not going anywhere near them. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Cool.
I kind of don't know if I want the initiative next turn.
Yeah, it's weird with this one.
We'll see how it goes. Main thing for me so far is that I've moved where I wanted to move.
Yeah.
So yeah, what about you? Were you shooting?
Yeah, would have liked and probably deserved a lot more than I got.
Yeah, you rolled quite bad on the wounds and stuff.
Yeah,
and I got pretty good with the saves.
Sniper's put in the work, but you got lucky with the saves, so...
Yeah, and again, my other thing with I knew you were going to try and get the Flower guy.
Yeah.
So I was like, take as many guns off him as possible.
Yeah, flies all over him.
I thought that you might just get rid of that Poxwalker in like one shot.
Yeah,
and then managed
very annoyed that I didn't.
Managed to just do him anyway, and then I would have been out
3 people shooting him.
Yeah, so
still
lucky.
living.
Yeah, they are disgustingly resilient.
They are awful.
So yeah, and then we don't have a fight phase.
No,
so we might as well just go straight ahead with morale.
Yep, nothing for me.
I'm not broken yet, but I've got some flesh wounds, so I'll see if these boys are shaken. Although I'm not sure that either of them can fail. Maybe the Poxwalker can fail, so I'll roll for the Poxwalker first.
Yep. Ooh.
That's a 6. I think so he gets -1 because he's next to a normal guy.
Yep.
That takes it down to a 5, but his leadership is a 4.
Ah.
So he's going to be shaken.
Shook.
He's shook as fuck. All those bullets coming at him. Unexpected. Terrified. So my Poxwalker in the centre of the board. Oh, can a shaken model hold an objective?
Well, I don't know.
We'll have to
look that up.
We'll have to look that up because I'm about to get points for it at the end of this. If so.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'll just try the other guy, although he can't fail, I believe. Gets a 2 anyway, so he's definitely okay because he's got a safe guy next to him.
Yeah.
And that is my morale. You're fine. You don't have any flesh wounds.
Nope.
Okay, so that'll be round one. I don't think there's much more to recap other than the points.
Yeah.
Because this carries on per battle round. So for me, I have objective 3, which is on my end of the board, which gives me 1 victory point. I have objective 2, which is on my end of the board, which gives me 1.
Yep.
And if a shaken model, let me just measure the other guy.
Probably in as well, the plague spewer.
So after a quick measure, even if shaken models can't hold objectives, the blight launcher guy that's just next to the Poxwalker has that objective as well. So I get 3 victory points for the middle one.
Nice.
And then what have you got? You just got your 2 over your side?
2 objectives over my side, so what's that? 5-2.
So that's 5-2 at the end of battle round 1. Okay, so let's go back round for the initiative of round 2. I got 4.
I got 7.
And you got a 7. So I think I'm okay with that. Yeah. I think. I'm not sure. We'll see how this goes. I don't think I wanted to go first.
It's tricky. So you want to take that middle one off you, objective off you, but you got some hefty guns in there. And if I leave, I have to take you out there. If I leave you there, you're just gonna keep racking up those 3 points.
Yeah. So if you've got the initiative, so we'll go ahead and do the movement phase, and then we'll cut back in and let you all know what happened.
Oh, so did a little switcheroo. I realised having the Reaver, who's the combat specialist, probably wasted up in that tower when there could be some heated situation going on in the middle. So I moved him out of there, off the objective, and he's hiding behind the building, peeking around slightly towards that middle objective. And then I swapped one of the snipers from the middle into that building so I could retake the objective. The other 2 snipers readied, the comm specialist readied. My leader has pushed forward just behind the sort of centre bit of terrain, just on the other side of it, you got the Poxwalker. And then my demolitions has peeked forward slightly. Only did that just to anticipate that Joe might move some of the guys back. I don't think he actually did, so I could have just stayed there and readied, but...
No, but there's guys at the back that have stayed put.
Yeah, so could take a pop at them.
So with me, I literally, none of my Poxwalkers moved. They still kind of form a bit of a triangle on all the objectives. So I've got 1 on objective 2, 1 on objective 3, and a shaken one next to objective 1. Then I had my 2 gunners that are also in the centre. Objective 1, I readied them both. One of them's still kind of out in the open with the plague spewer, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. And then I moved kind of up behind both those gunners. I moved one of my fighters, the one with the mace and the axe. So I advanced him, and I advanced my Flail of Corruption fighter up the side. He's kind of away from everyone else. He's going up the side, kind of round to the ruin that you've moved your sniper into.
I have a feeling I know what he's going to do.
I'm glad that the Reaver isn't in there anymore, put it that way. I'm glad it's just a sniper. And he's kind of out of line of sight of that sniper now, but he's moved into line of sight of a few of the other boys, which I might have to take care of.
Yeah. Spawn some more flies.
Yeah, which I didn't want to do. So yeah, that's the movement phase. So we'll go on to shooting now. With you had the initiative, yeah?
Yeah, so I've got 3 ready ones, but yeah, first one.
I will play Cloud of Flies.
Okay.
So it's 2 command points.
Yep.
You can only shoot my guy with the flail if he's the closest visible enemy model.
Which I don't think he is.
I don't think he will be for any of them, luckily.
Luckily for you, so that's fine.
Because the centre Poxwalker, although shaken, still visible.
Still very visible.
Yeah, that's my 2 command points for the turn. Gone.
Yeah, I'll say that my comms guy will be using his rule for he's going to give it to the sniper from the tower. Not that he can shoot yet, but he will be using that later on in the shooting phase.
Okay.
Then to start with, so we'll pop my comms specialist. He's going to shoot straight down at the plague spewer.
Correct. Repeat of last time.
Yep.
2 shots.
2 shots on 3s.
Yeah, not obscured.
Rapid fire. 5 and a 1.
Nice. That'll be a
5 to wound.
5 to wound.
It's a 6.
Nice.
-1.
So that's just going to be a 4 up. That is a 1.
Ooh.
And then disgustingly resilient. That's a 1 again.
Right.
So now you go for an
damage roll. We're going to +1 to it because you've got flesh wound.
Yeah, he's flesh wounded already.
So three up, he's out of action.
Yeah. That's a 1.
I'm going to use a command point.
This went well for you last time.
I got
it's a 5.
So he's out of action.
So he's out of action. Plague Spewer is
2 command points.
out of action.
Excellent. Right. So,
So I now have one guy out of action.
Lovely.
And he was one of my readied guys as well. So you've helped yourself there.
I have. So yeah, if you want to do one of your readied ones.
Yep. So I'm going to do my heavy specialist.
Yep.
He's going to fire back down to your comms guy.
Okay.
Who's only on 1 wound.
Sure.
So it's assault 2. He's not obscured. So it'll be on freeze.
Okay.
There's a 5 and a 1.
Yep.
And then it's strength 6, toughness 4, so he'll be wounded on freeze.
Lovely.
And that is a 5. So that is a -2.
-2?
Yeah.
Ooh, 5 up. I've got a 1, so wound gone.
That is his wound gone, and I have D3 damage from that. So I'll check to see how many injury rolls I've got to do. It's a 2, so it's only 1.
Good.
So I'll do the injury roll now.
Oh.
It's a 4.
He's out.
So he's out of action.
Eye for
1
an
for
eye.
1, yeah, an eye for an eye. You got another readied guy?
I have. I've got 2 snipers at the back. Which one to do on what one? The right-hand side sniper is, he can see a couple of things, but they're both all going to be obscured. The other guy, Poxwalker, is not, but your big gunner, he will be obscured by the
Blight Launcher.
Blight Launcher. He'll be obscured by the Poxwalker. I'm going to pop at the Poxwalker, even though he's shaken. He's not. I'm going to get him off the board.
Okay.
So it's just 1 shot. A 3. That's
a 1. They do still get to save though. Shaking balls. That's the thing they do get to do.
Yeah. Cool. So that was him. You got another readied one?
Yeah, I have my leader. I shot with my Blight Launcher guy. I have my leader. He's going to shoot this guy. You can see through here.
Yeah.
Let me just check for the range.
It's pretty long to me.
So he's just in close range. Just.
Yeah.
Dead on. So it's rapid fire.
Yep.
So he gets 2 shots, but he is obscured, so it's on 4s.
Yep.
This is from my leader at the back with a bolt gun firing at your. Is he?
Demolitions.
He's your demolitions guy. That is a 2 and a 3.
Nice.
No good.
Right. So I'll use my other sniper at the back. He's going to, again, I'll try and get that Poxwalker off the board.
Okay.
So
he's obscured this time.
Obscured, so on a 4. 3.
That's a 3.
Yeah.
The shaken Poxwalker remains.
He does. Right, that's all my readied. You got no more readied, have you?
I have no more readied.
So I'll do my normal shots. We'll go for the demolitions guy first.
For your demolitions guy,
my demolitions guy.
Who's you going to shoot at?
We're shooting at your heavy.
Okay.
So you are obscured.
Mm-hmm.
Within rapid fire. So 2 shots on 4s.
Yep.
Oh, double ones.
Double ones. Where's the traps?
Where are my traps at? Come on. Okay. You got any more shooting?
I have no more shooting.
Right, okay. In that case.
The joys of Death Guard.
Yep.
With some combat boys.
Let's load out some shots then. Go sniper in the tower.
You're going to see.
You can get that Poxwalker at the back on the other objective.
Oh, my Poxwalker over on objective 2.
So you are obscured. But I don't suffer for long range, so I did move as well, so I'm hitting off 5.
Yeah, so it's 2 -1s basically.
Yeah. Oh, 4.
That's a 4.
Right. We got the Reaver.
Yep.
He'll be shooting at the Poxwalker, not obscured. So
nope.
It's assault 2 on 3s. I got a 4 and a 1.
Nice.
And it's just a 3 to wound.
Yeah. That's a 3.
3. So
any minus or anything? Oh, it doesn't matter. They don't get a save.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a disgustingly resilient roll.
Yep. Of course he does.
And he gets it.
Of course
Disgusting. He's disgustingly resilient.
Right.
On a 5, he gets that.
Last one, the leader. So you can see the spike from the helmet.
Correct.
I'll be shooting at your heavy guy. So it's
okay. He's very obscured.
Very obscured, but you're within rapid fire. So 2 shots on 4s.
Mm-hmm.
Double ones again. Where was this earlier with all the traps?
That is double one.
Furious. Could take you off the board by now. Right.
That's funny. That is funny. That's all the shooting?
That's all the shooting then.
Real quick roundup of the shooting.
Yep.
We kind of did an eye for an eye. You took one, I took one.
Yeah.
I'm not happy about it because you took my flamer.
Yeah, I'm happy about that. Not happy I lost the intercessor, but
yeah,
I'd rather have probably lost him than anyone else, to be fair.
It's just a pain. Like I could have gotten rid of him ages ago if he didn't have 2 wounds. Do you know what I mean? It's such a pain.
The first time I think that me having the 2 wounds on them has actually
really helped.
Me.
Yeah. Because I tend to take more multi-damage weapons to try and combat that. But not really much to say about that. We both took a guy off the table.
Again, desperately tried to take this Poxwalker off the table, but he won't budge.
I suppose, probably that's a massive positive for me is that you're piling some shots into that guy and he's just not giving up.
And he's shaking.
That was basically the shooting, and then we'll move on to the morale phase of Battle Round 2. Do you have any flesh wounds?
None.
Flesh
wounds.
And you're definitely not broken.
Nope.
For me, I remove his shaken token. I'm not broken for a start. And then I remove his shaken token in the middle there, and then I need to test again. I basically need... I suppose it depends if he's within 2 inches.
You've lost a model now, haven't you? So
yeah, that will affect it. So
yeah.
Okay, hang on. I got 6 again.
So
he could be shaken.
I think the guy standing next to him and your model off the board probably counteract each other. So it'll be...
Yeah, they will. So it'll just be the same as last time, which means he remains shaken. Because he got a 6. His leadership is 4. He's got 2 guys next to him, but 1 guy's off the board, so that only gets it down to a 5. Never been so annoyed to roll 2 6s in 2 separate rounds in my life. Okay, so we move on to the initiative.
Points round up. Quick.
Oh, we need to add points quickly.
You scored another 5.
I've scored another 5 and not gained any more. So
that puts it 10-4 to you.
Yeah, so thank God you didn't take the heavy specialist out.
Yeah.
He's the one grabbing that middle objective.
He is.
Okay, cool. We'll just reset all our tokens and stuff, and then we'll get to round 3 with the initiative. Oh. You're getting a 3.
3.
I'm going to get an 8, which gives me the initiative.
Nice.
We go on to movement. Okay, so let's just recap the movement really quickly. I kept my leader at the back in your trap.
Yep.
He's readied both those Poxwalkers on the kind of back corners of this little Poxwalker triangle that I've got going on those objectives. Stayed put. Yep. Point farming. And the shaken Poxwalker in the centre obviously stayed put. My heavy specialist readied. He's just behind the Poxwalker in the middle. My fighter with a flail down the right flank has advanced to get a little bit closer to your sniper in the ruins. Yep. He's basically knocking on the door, trying to scare the shit out of that guy.
He's definitely scared.
He's, I believe, nice and out of sight of that guy.
Yep.
And then, so he basically, the charge was too long for me to even attempt. So I just got as close as I could so that I can try and charge next time. And he doesn't have a ranged weapon other than grenades, so I might as well advance. But then I did actually charge with my other fighter. So he was in the middle with the Poxwalker and the heavy specialist, and he charged around out towards is that your demolitions guy?
That was my demolitions guy, yeah.
And he got a successful charge with no Overwatch hit on your demolitions guy. And that's where my movement ended. So what about you?
So I readied all 3 snipers, keep them available. Obviously one of the demolitions guy was charged, so he's stayed there.
Yep.
I charged my Reaver, tried to get it into the Poxwalker and your heavy, but only made it into the Poxwalker.
Yep. And the Overwatch did nothing from the heavy.
Yep. And then my leader charged into the demolitions guy fight.
Indeed.
Aid him a bit.
Yeah, that's all the movement. Both your other snipers, or all 3 of your snipers readied?
Yep, they are.
Onto the shooting then. I think because he's crouching, the other sniper, he will probably be out of line of sight for this guy. What would you say? Can't see him at all?
See you at all, no.
No, okay, so we'll just go for your sniper that's over the back there.
Now those sniper cloaks come in handy.
Yeah, because he's obscured as well.
Obscured,
so he's obscured and
the cloaks, that's +2.
Yeah, luckily it's not long range.
Yeah.
Won't be long range. Anyway, I'm going to have to do it. It's the only thing I can shoot. So that's 2 shots on 5s.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be 2 5s. Thank you very much.
Just what he needed.
Thanks for coming. 2 5s. So that is going to be...
toughness 4.
Toughness 4. Yeah, strength 6.
Yeah.
Toughness 4. Freeze. That's a 6 and a 3.
All right.
That is -2 to your AP.
2 5-up saves. It's a 6 and a 3. So 1 goes through.
Takes 1. It's D3 damage.
Ooh.
3 damage. I'm guessing he's on 0 wounds.
He is.
So I'll roll 3 injury rolls.
Yep.
He is obscured.
He is.
Within an inch of a piece of terrain. So on a 4, he's fine.
Yeah.
Like 1, 2, 3, and 4, he's injury, he's flesh wound.
Yeah. Oh.
Manages to get a 5 there, which takes him out of action.
Out of action. Big hit.
Nice. So that is one of my readied guys there.
Right.
Who is now shot. Have you got any other readied guys?
I've got 2.
Okay. Can they see anyone?
Yep. I'm going to do this crouching sniper straight through at your flail guy at the bottom there.
Yep. I thought you might be able to see. And I thought the other one might be able to see as well. That's why I wanted to take him out.
Yeah. Not obscured, so let's just go straight through.
Still not obscured?
No.
Even through that window?
See all of your body. You're far back enough.
As you far back, yeah. Okay, fair enough.
3.
Gets a 1 anyway. Sauceless.
Is it worth a command point?
No sauce on that roll.
I was gonna...
What are you saying? Come on.
No, I'll leave it.
You leave it?
Yeah, right. And then...
So then I've got one more guy readied.
Yeah.
So my leader is going to shoot his bolt gun all the way from the back of the map over to the other side of the map at an obscured sniper in a camo cloak at long range, which means it's 6s.
Can he do it?
There's only 1 hit. Gets a 3.
Not a
so
chance.
Not happening. Nothing happening there. Some leader you are. That's what I'd say to that.
Right, so I'm going to fire my last readied guy. He's going to shoot at your Poxwalker at the back on the objective there.
Yes, this is your sniper in the ruin.
Yeah, so on a 4 because you're obscured. Be a 5.
That'll be a 5.
It'll be a 3 to wound you.
Yep.
It's a 6.
6, which
so
is a mortal wound.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make too much difference because they don't get a save anyway.
No.
So it's just going to be it's the same situation as before though.
Yeah.
So the mortal wound goes through first, takes him to 0 wounds. So now I'm going to try for disgustingly resilient off the back of that mortal wound.
Yes.
That's a 4. So for once I actually fail it. So we're going to do an injury roll. He is obscured. So on a 1 to 4 he's fine. And that is a 3.
He's just flesh wounded.
He's going to get a flesh wound.
Slowly chipping away.
Slowly.
Can't get rid of these
slowly
things.
but surely. The Poxwalkers are actually really handy. It's just if you take too many of them, they can really fuck you up with being broken. If more than half of your team is Poxwalkers,
you're screwed.
Yeah. Unless they all manage to hold out this well, then you're doing something pretty good.
Yeah.
Is that the end of the shooting? Or have you got any others? Because all your boys are in combat.
Yeah. No pistol on the Reaver. It's a different gun. So yeah.
It wouldn't be able to do it on the turn that it charged anyway. It'd have to be the next one. So
right, so yes.
That's all the shooting done, and we'll move on to the fight phase.
Now I know it's your initiative, but I'm gonna pop all my command points now.
Yeah.
First I'm gonna pay two to fight first.
Okay.
Which will be with my leader.
So if I now pay 2, we have to roll off.
We have to roll off, yeah.
I'm going to do it. I'll make it interesting. Yeah. I'll pay my last 2 to... Yep. We have to roll off, so we're going to roll a d6 to see who gets to use it. Oh, you get a 5.
I got a 5.
Oh, I don't want it. I don't want it.
Oh, you bastard.
That is a 6. That is saucy AF, so I counteract that and I get to go first as per my initiative.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Screwed up the plans for that last command point. What I was hoping to do...
Yeah?
Just go pick that fight first, and then I was going to use the level 1 leader tactic. Use this tactic when you pick a leader from your kill team to fight in the fight phase. Choose another friendly model within 3 inches, so the guy also in the combat.
Yeah.
That is eligible to fight. You can fight with each of these models in an order of your choice before the next player's turn.
Ah, okay. So you were going to try and get in there quick and do that.
Quick and do that quick.
Nice.
But
okay.
Apparently not. So
I-
but it leaves
I'm-
me on 1 still.
I
So
can't re-roll anything now, but I'd like to think that that's 2
Yeah.
command points well spent,
I'd say so.
and the most important 6 of this game for me.
Absolutely.
So
You can only
Do-
hit
so
my intercessor though.
I have one guy that's charged. Yeah, he only
Yeah.
charged the intercessor, so I'll do him first.
Yep.
So he has a mace of contagion, and he also has a bubotic axe,
Ooh.
which sounds lovely. So I'm gonna do 1 attack with each. He gets 2 attacks because
Okay.
he's not a specialist. Probably should have made him a specialist of some sort, but
Yeah.
whatever. He's going to use 1 attack with the mace and 1 attack with the axe.
Okay.
I'm going to do the mace first.
Sure.
And it's on your intercessor
Yeah.
guy. And with the mace, similar to like the big cleavers and stuff, he's -1 to hit.
Okay.
So it's going to be on 4s.
Ooh.
Gets a 4. So he hits with the mace.
Yep.
That is going to be strength 6,
Toughness 4.
toughness 4. So it's going to be on 3s, and it's re-rolling 1s because it's a plague weapon.
Okay.
Gets a 1, so I'm going to be able to re-roll that.
Ah.
And gets a 4, so that's going to be a wound
Yep.
at -1.
4 up.
Gets
Get
a 2.
How many damage is it?
It's 3 damage, and you have the axe to come.
Unless he's.
Do you only have 1 command point left?
I have 1 command point, so I'm going to save that. So I'll let that go through.
Okay, so that's
so
3
that's
damage
takes
that
him-
goes through. Takes him down to 0.
Yep.
Which means I'm now going to roll 3 injury rolls because that's
Yep.
with 3 damage. If he survives, he has another attack coming with
Yeah.
a different weapon.
That's fine.
The very reason I took this model was so we could kind
Do
of
this.
exercise this way of attacking with 2 different weapons and how it works with injury rolls and stuff like that. So I'm
Yeah.
very glad, not only because it helps me win potentially, I'm very glad that you failed that save and that this attack went through. So 3 injury rolls.
Yep.
Ideally, I'm going to give you a flesh wound and then kill you, just because that'll be more fun. But if I can take you out of action, that'd be nice as well.
Yeah. He's
So that is a 2, a 4, and a 5.
he is out.
So he is out of action. So basically the plan was with that. I suppose I'll recap that at the end of the fight phase, and we'll see how I wanted that to go.
Yeah.
He's still in combat with your guy who
Leader.
charged him,
Yeah.
but I'm going to consolidate round to the other side of the leader that had charged into me. Now in base contact with him, so I'm still very much in combat with him. It's just consolidating round. Basically, I've consolidated round so that I'm closer to the objective, potentially in range of it, but I'm not too sure yet. So if you want to go now, so you've got 2 people that charged.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter who goes first because the other guy's shaken, so he can't fight back anyway. So
Yeah.
I'll just stick with the leader. Just
Yeah.
fight back at you.
Okay.
You got 3 attacks, and then chainsword I get an extra attack anyway. So 4 attacks on 3s.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2 6s, a 3, and a 2. So
Yep.
3 hits. It's gonna be 5s to wound.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Strength 4.
I think 4,
Toughness
so
5,
5.
so-
5, 3, and a 2. So 1 wound
One
goes
goes
through. No minus.
That'll be a 3 up for me then. Gets a 4.
Of course. Good old Marines.
Disgusting.
And then that's my other combat. It's my Reaver Sergeant and Combat Specialist. So, right, so you've got 3 base attacks, extra attack for the combat knife, and then an extra one for the combat specialist. So you've got 5 attacks. Well, that lonely poxwalker on 3s.
You can't fight back.
Yeah. All hit.
Obviously.
And then 3s to wound. That's 3.
There's a 1 and a 2 in there. I'll take that.
There's 3 wounds. No minus.
No minus. So one of those takes him down to 0.
Yep.
And then I'm going to use a disgustingly resilient on that.
Yep.
I get a 1. So you get to now.
So you've already got a flesh wound.
He's already got a flesh wound, which means
on a 3 up, he's gone.
that's a 4.
He's removed.
So he's now removed from. He's out of action, basically.
Does seal the objective for me, which is what I was hoping for at the end of that.
Okay, that's the fight phase.
Yeah.
That's the fight phase done.
Morale.
Morale now. I have 1 guy with a. I don't have to test if I'm broken.
No.
Because I've got 2 guys off the board and 1 guy with a flesh wound. But I do need to check if he's shaken or not.
Yep.
It's a 5, and he's got no one near him. And there's 2 people off the board, so he's going to be shaken. And that is my Poxwalker that's holding objective 2, so he's now no longer holding objective 2.
It's a mix-up.
So this could end up being a pretty good round for you, actually.
Yeah. So I don't have any flesh wounds. I've lost 3 off the board, but I've still got 4 on, so I'm not quite.
So you're fine. You don't have to check to be broken just yet.
Right. So points round up at the end of that then?
Points add up at the end of that. I believe you take the middle one now.
So that's 3.
So that's 3,
Plus 1
4
in there.
for you. And that'll be 1, 2, 3.
3 for you.
And yeah, I took one in that combat, so
it's brings it 13 to 8.
Yeah, that's a little bit closer than it was.
Than 10-3. So
yeah,
that was an interesting round.
Nice. Okay, so this is round 4 next.
Yep, potentially the final round.
Yeah, potentially the final round. So we'll cut back and roll for the initiative on that. So Barrett got a 10 on the initiative, and I managed to pull out double 6s for a 12, which is nice. So just quickly with the movement, I shuffled my guy was my heavy specialist in the middle was like a few inches away from Barrett's Reaver that was also in the middle holding the objective. So I moved him out the way so that if Barrett was going to charge him, he would have to move far away from the objective.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that, moved him round kind of over to the left, and then I charged successfully my guy with a flail into your scout that's in the ruins.
Yep.
And then my shaken Poxwalker obviously stayed still. My leader stayed readied at the back, and my other Poxwalker back in the left-hand corner on objective 3 also stayed put.
Yes.
And then I have one guy in combat with you from the last round.
Yeah.
That was my movement.
I pulled the Reaver out from the objective, and I actually charged him into your dual weapon man to help
the
the leader
existing
out.
combat over on objective 4.
Yeah, and then I moved my sniper that was freed up just within range of the middle objective, but out of sight of those nasty guns of Joe's.
Yeah. So I kind of nosed myself up a little bit there, because where I moved him out, you've managed to move your sniper in at a point where I can't see him now. So
good old crouching sniper.
Yeah.
Crouching sniper, hidden dragon. And then, obviously the leader and the other sniper were charged, so they could put.
Okay.
Oh.
Nice. Onto the shooting phase.
Yep.
I have one readied guy.
I have no readied.
So it's my initiative.
Mm-hmm.
My readied guy can only see one person. That's your sniper.
Yep.
In the middle there, so I'm going to shoot at him.
Bit of his body behind that.
Yeah, a bit of his arm is hidden, so it'll be obscured, and he's got his cloak.
Yep.
It's a 2 and a 1. That's going to be no good.
Cool.
So that's my only readied guy. You now have
no
readied guys. So I have my one guy who can't see anyone, I believe. So that is my shooting over with.
Yeah, so my sniper is shooting at your Poxwalker. Hold the objective in that building. Over
on objective 3.
It's very obscured, but just see a little hammer. That's a 6.
That is a 6.
3 to wound.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 6.
6.
Oh, the snipers are really paying off today.
Yeah. I mean, the only problem is that the mortal wound doesn't really do anything to Poxwalkers, because we don't get save anyway. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a disgustingly resilient for that mortal wound.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
And he saves it with a 5.
Lovely. And then the sniper that's in combat that you charged, he's going to fire his pistol into you.
You can't do it on the turn that you get charged.
Right, okay.
So you would have to do it the turn after.
Okay, no problem then. And that's all shooting.
That's all the shooting done. Let's get on to the fights. Okay. So I have one that I charged with. Yep. So I'll just go ahead and do that to start off with. He's a combat specialist, which means he gets an extra attack. So he gets 3 attacks rather than the 2. And he's hitting D3 times for each of those attacks. So I'll roll for those now.
Yep. Could have been a lot worse.
It could have been a lot worse. That's going to be 4 attacks. Hitting on 3s. Yep. They all hit.
Of course.
It's 2 5s and 2 3s. Strength 6.
Cool.
On to toughness 4.
Yep.
So that is going to be 3s again, and he's re-rolling 1s. That's going to be a 5, a 6, a 2, which I'll get rid of, and a 1 to re-roll,
Another one.
which I'll re-roll for another 1. So that's 2 attacks that have gone through at -2.
So 2 5-up saves. 2 4s.
That's 2 4s. So you're just going to take 1.
Yep.
But they're 2 damage each.
Okay.
So I'll roll 2 injury rolls.
Yep. He's kaput.
There's a 5 and a 3. So I'll take the 5, which is the highest, and put him out of action, which will get me that objective for this turn.
Yes. Now my charge, I've got the Reaver on your...
On my other fighter.
So 5 attacks.
What does he get 5 from? Does he get 4 standard and then an extra one?
Yeah. So he's got 3 standard, +1 for the combat knife, and +1 because he's a combat specialist.
Okay, cool.
5 attacks on 3s.
That's
All
pretty
hit.
good.
All hit.
That's 3 6s,
A 5 and a
4 and a 5.
And I need 5s to wound you. It's just 1 wound on a 6.
Nice.
I will re-roll 1 of those.
Yeah.
I got a 4.
That's a 4. So just the 1 wound.
Yep, no minus.
No minus. That's a 4. That's saved. So I'll fight back.
Yep.
I get.
Oh no, it's my turn. So we've done the charges. So then it's. Oh wait, yeah,
It's
it was
my
your
initiative, though, isn't
yeah,
it?
it was
So
your initiative.
now I go first.
I'm going to play 2 command points to go first.
Jump ahead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
With my leader. So 4 attacks.
Yep.
On 3s.
Does that put you on 0 command points?
It does. So I only got 1 hit.
Nice.
Awful. Need a 5. Nothing.
And that'll be a 2.
Big waste of 2 command points.
Good. I'm glad. I'm going to attack the original guy that I was in combat with.
Okay.
I'm going to do that, actually. The guy that charged me.
Yeah.
So the one that's closer to the objective.
Yeah.
I'm going to attack him with... both my attacks are going to be 1 from each weapon.
Yep.
So 1 from the axe, 1 from the mace. We'll do the mace first.
Yeah.
That's a 1. That's not going to be any good. And then I'll just go ahead and... Oh, I'm going to re-roll that, actually. I kept my command points, so I might as well. That's another 1. That's like the 3rd time I've done that this game. Re-rolled a 1 for a 1. Yeah, so now I'm going to go for the axe on 3s again. I actually believe... I can't remember what one, but one of these weapons is a -1 to hit, but it doesn't matter regardless because that's going to be a 2.
Oh.
Yeah, no attacks from him.
Yes,
Which puts us at the end of the fighting,
Oh.
which brings us to the morale.
Mm-hmm.
I only have 1. I can't be broken, I don't think. I've got 1 flesh wound and 2 off the board.
Yeah.
Which means I'm okay. Where are you at now? Because you could be broken, I think.
Yeah, I am now
Over half.
over half.
So if you now check to see if you're broken, it's 2d6. That's a 3. So I think you're fine.
Resolution on the board is 8, so I'm fine.
So you'll be fine. Then I don't need to check that. So I should have just done my flesh wound actually first before we both check. But regardless, I'll take his shaken token away from him for a second. I'll check if he is still in fact shaken. If he's not, I'll get that point for that objective.
Yes.
If he is, I won't. So I could really do without a 6 here. A 3 plus 2 guys off the board.
5.
Which is a 5.
Still fails.
I have a command point left, so I can re-roll it, right?
Yeah.
A 1 would be lovely.
3 again.
So 3 again, so pointless. So he's shaken, so I don't get the point for that one there.
So what points have you got? So you got...
I've got 1 point over here.
And...
we both have someone in there.
Yeah, so that's nothing.
That cancels us out, and I have 2 over there. So I have 3. Which I believe you get as well, for having the central one.
Which is 16. I get 3. So that puts you 16 to my 11.
Nice. Okay.
You're a hefty.
So that was the end of turn 4. You now have to roll, and on a 3 up, it will continue. I guess I had the advantage, so I roll.
You did, yeah.
It was a 1. So that ends the game. And I've been so happy to have a 1. I win. Was it 16 to
11?
16 to 11. Nice.
That was a real good game, that one.
Yeah, that was really an interesting one. I actually really like that mission, and I like the weird little deployment zone that you get at the beginning, the little triangle. It's kind of, you have to start like super tight.
Yeah, and kind of fan out.
Yeah, it's kind of a pretty interesting way to start. I think a few of the other ones in the book have the same deployment map, which is like in the corners.
Yeah,
that one's cool, but this one
change.
Yeah, this like kind of straight up horizontal one is a nice little change.
Yeah.
I guess like my plan worked was with my scouting phase. I thought I need to just get that middle objective as soon as I can.
Yeah.
Get as many people around it as soon as I can, because you can only shoot one at a time.
Yeah.
So if I had 3 people around it, you're going to have to take them all out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which worked, because I obviously racked up quite a few points from that. And then I just sat.
Yeah, that big, was it, you sort of got a big sort of six
points
point lead.
within like within the first 2 turns or something. And then I just sat 2 poxwalkers on the back, 2 objectives, just gain those 2 victory points each time. That's what I do with the poxwalkers. They're the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Just sit them on your objectives that are in your deployment. Don't move them. Don't do nothing. Just leave them as obscured as you can. Hidden is even better.
Yeah.
And they rack up the points.
Yeah,
what about you? Where did your kind of plans go?
I think it nearly went to plan. I think the only mistake I made was not rushing that centre quick enough. I think I
you kind of held off for a little bit.
Yeah, a bit hesitant to get that. You did have you had a lot of big guns in there, and you had a combat guy lurking. I thought if I charge in, I'm gonna probably just get taken out.
The other thing is your traps didn't really pay off.
No,
they could have, because they got me a lot, but they didn't wound.
I thought I was going to place them in towards my end as you came up. I knew you would have come for mine, so I was going to put them there. But I thought, the way you're probably going to deploy, might as well just stick them all there. You're all gonna.
Yeah, I'm next to. I kind of saw that coming anyway. Like I knew that.
Yeah,
all the ones I was in my deployment zone were probably going to be traps.
Yeah,
especially the 2 that had objectives next to them.
Yeah.
So.
But if that had paid off and you got unlucky with rolls, could have wiped out half your force before.
I know, that could have been insane.
So it's worth taking the trap one.
I could have been broken by the end of turn 1.
Yeah,
yeah.
Snipers really good. Really like those. Glad I took them.
The snipers are. I don't understand why more people don't take them in the Astartes teams.
Yeah.
Are they quite cheap? How many points are they?
So they're 10 points base, and then it's 2 points for the sniper and camo cloak, so it's 12 points.
I mean, not bad.
Yeah.
And that,
pretty cheap.
like,
for Astartes, it's cheap.
5s to hit, like, if they're obscured, sometimes it's 6. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So it was a good game overall, I think.
Yeah, really good
Quite
game.
like that mission.
Yeah.
That was a cool mission. Nice.
Nice one. Cool.
A pretty strategic win for the Death Guard there from me. Everything just kind of went to plan. I basically covered it in that little post-match chat that you just heard a second ago. But thanks so much for listening. Once again, if you want to get involved with the giveaway that we're going to be doing next episode, then simply comment on this video, anything you like. You can have a go at us if you want, I'm still going to enter you. Or leave a 5-star review on the iTunes feed. You can do both if you'd like to double your chances of winning. However, you can only win once. Don't forget that you can follow us on Twitter at ChillTeamPod. This is the same for Instagram. And you can email us chillteampod@gmail.com. Thanks again for listening. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you next week for Deathwatch versus Grey Knights.